well.
Okay, I'll just start by saying everyone's been extra nice to me because some of my group members have leaked out what I might be doing. So thanks. I know by tomorrow a lot of you will not be so nice to me, so I had some rules. And since what we've learned over the 4 modules is structure and process, here comes the structure first. Okay? Before I start, the whole reflection is reflections of the group called Old Monks, and you will know as we move forward why we call the Old Monks. And as I start, the rules that I'm planning to articulate is this. The premise of my talk, I hope Anshik is there, I got the pronunciation right. The premise of my talk are the following. The first is everyone in the audience doesn't take themselves as seriously as you took the cases. Yeah? It's really important that you don't juxtapose the case and what's happening today. Yeah? Because if you, what did you say today? Something he said, he used one new name. If you conflate both of them, it'll be quite painful for you and it's not worth it. Having said this, by the way, it took me 3 days to mark this up and it's damn tough. Okay, Baron's Guide at our age is very difficult to learn. Yeah? The second one, hence, was a very clear resolution. This was more for me being able to present effectively, given my rather superior command on English, is the following. Command over English to understand what I'm trying to say is neither necessary nor sufficient. So you've got to figure where you are on that one. And the third one is totally inspired by some of the guys who mistook narrative to narration. So just to make sure that they feel completely at home, here's the third rule. Any resemblance to someone you know is purely intentional. Supriya, it's purely intentional. And has had a lasting impact on me. And hence I've taken the liberty, because the only thing I know is to do marketing, is to market the unique talent of the concerned individuals in a light-hearted manner. So that's the 3 rules. And we also have a judge. I have a judge for this whole speech. So Anshik is going to decide whether it is insipid or it is tepid or it is God forbid. Now, I did not take the risk of taking on a lot of people alone. I've had 2 people who, they weren't voluntary, they just landed. And the 2 of them, we separated them into Vidwan, which in English is the learned and the wise, and the other is Insan, which is human, because we didn't see much of the human side of this guy through the 4 modules. So the 2 members who've read all the content, okay, technology, are Arjun, he's the Vidwan, and that's the Insan. What I thought, and this is well before the first course was done or the first lecture on Alibaba happened, you know, the couple of friends, and you know how these friends are, if they've gone through, they come and tell you, don't worry, you're really going to have a blast in this course. And the person was John Paulus. He said, just relax, you're going to have a blast. I didn't understand which part of the blast, but what I assumed and what I visualized was we would do this. Yeah? Then I said, when we get bored of doing this, we do this. If we get bored of that, it has the Harvard branding on it. I assume we'll have a lot of high tea, where the tea would be absent, or Long Island iced tea would be what it was. And then this one certainly happened, where we had to go for a game, and I had the good fortune of going with Nishant for the game. So well into strike 1, Nishant was still saying, why is the bowler not taking his crease? At which point in time I thought going to rice and curds might be a better idea. And then, of course, this is happening tomorrow, which is the graduation. The 2 parts that came out really well. I'm assuming tomorrow is going to be perfectly fine. For all of you, it is going to be fine. I don't know what Professor does at the end of my speech. I'm hoping he's going to take this very lightly and let me be. But that's what I thought I'd come here and do. And then came Vijaya in our life. And she came through a very innocuous link. And all she did to all of us was, guys, you've got a link, just click it, you have all the contents there. So I assumed, great, which part of Harvard Square, which day, which one's good for whiskey, which one's good for vodka, so let's go click this link. What I found was case studies, and the best part, or the worst part, is there are no answers ready for the case studies. And I do know there's some groups which spent a lot of time trying to figure the answer and what happened today and retrofit it to the case. Neither did it help because it was not the design, but they were purely case studies. So that was the first perspective, that this is going to be tough and you better do this very, very well. And while I was at it, my case started, and this was literally being, baptism by fire, and my case started getting taken. And the first part of my case studies was starting to read them, and I realized that each of the cases were on average 20 pages. They're not exactly 20, they're actually 30 to 32, and the last 12 were exhibits. And therefore what I said is, I've got reasonable amount of work experience behind me. Somebody in the class will do the exhibits, let me do the qual bit. I'll explain why I went to that solution also a little later. So there was a decent amount of something that could give you a high, and then there were cases which were beautifully written, so that was the other high. And as I started here, the case also started getting taken, because when we came to Boston, we were introduced to This Is Your Living group. And all of us, 8 people, at that time it was called Group 5C, we hurried into the group, and then we decided that having such a complex 360 exercise with 25 questions, etc., can be simplified. So we decided to take a rather simple test. So each one of our members, we asked them, what do you see here in the movie called Mohabbatein? It's a famous movie in Hindi cinema, for those of you who don't know it. 7 of us said we see Shah Rukh Khan. One person stood up prominently, moves his hand almost always like this, which means you've got very little time, and said, I see Amitabh Bachchan. And then the group's first case study, we said we'll crack the case, and we did reasonably well on the case, and then started what was the ultimate case of my life, where I said, okay, how do we start addressing you? Then the group immediately realized that the best way to address him is Guruji. So that simplified it, because it can be very confusing. And if you disrespect and the hand starts moving, you're in real bad shape. So I told him, Guruji, I've come to Boston, first time in my life, the weather is going to be really good, we should go for a walk. I couldn't have made a bigger mistake in my life. It is a bad idea. So then came 3 words, Anushasan. And then I realized there's Anshik who's killing it with English, and there's Guruji who's killing it with Hindi. So this is now going to be really difficult. And then it was Atma Samman. Now that was like really heavy. And when he said Atma Samman, it came from the epiglottis and it came with the moving hand. So the next thing Sandy and me did is we ran and wrote down saying this is a dicey area. And then the third one, because I was so scared of him, I forgot. So what he said, when I said, okay, this seems like a great place, Guruji's rules came. Everyone wakes up at 5:30. At 5:45, you better be down at the lobby. 5:46, we start walking. 6:28, we will be back. 6:32, you finish your coffee. 6:40, you get in. I didn't understand where those 8 minutes went, but I assumed he was kind to us and gave us the leeway. And but he was very kind, outstanding human being. He allowed us to choose the breakfast. It was really okay. If you notice, and a luminary, a really intelligent, knowledgeable man, most people when they're launching their vehicle, they have a degree of warmth, a lot of the software bit of it would come out. This is Guruji in front of the vehicle. It's almost like if you guys buy a Tata motor, that Ashok Leyland is going to run right through you. So better buy it. So it does make for, I can tell you it makes for compelling marketing, because we don't need to burn so much money on media, particularly my company. So we're going to hire Guruji for all our brands. He'll just come in on your TV and say, stop seeing Netflix and buy what I'm saying. We'll buy. Meanwhile, the group got divided early on into two sets of people. One who planned the cases in Boston, and there was a second set of people who also focused on cases for Boston. The first set of people who focused were doing this. Yeah? Bhavna, this is the movie called Three Idiots, and there are three famous characters. The second set of people were really paranoid about these cases. And in the flight on Qatar Airways, I got stopped twice because there were 8 or 9 cartons of food going. And therefore, unfortunately, two of us got caught into security check, etc. And we had to say, we know him, but we have nothing to do with this quantity of cases that came. It was quite interesting because by the end of the second week, we badly were reaching out to those cases saying, koi to thepla de do. Yeah, so that was the second bit on the case. And of course, after HBS spent so much time explaining to us diversity and inclusion, and for a long time I looked at myself and said, am I guilty of being only the old boys club? Again, Bhavna and Supriya came to my rescue. They did this. They went to Taj, made clear that each of the guys knew that they were not invited for lunch. Mind you, this was the best one-to-one marketing that Bhavna and Supriya did. They met each guy and said, you're not invited for lunch. So then we went and told them, maybe the professors are teaching diversity and inclusion, we are fine. We won't create too much ruckus, we'll be there. So Bhavna assured me, don't worry, we will take care of it. Till this happened. And for those of you who missed this part of diversity and inclusion, just when we were entering the building, you noticed they were superbly inclusive, where they said anyone can take a photograph, you stand your rest, go. And they took photographs. So really the lovely ladies epitomized inclusion. While this rock star took the first statistic that was presented to us. If any of you recall, the first statistic that was presented to us was, over the course of this case, these 7 weeks, you will learn and introspect, and most of our data suggests that 50% of you change jobs. Now the unfortunate part is the professors hadn't calculated that you're telling a bunch of competitive Indians that you will change the job. So the race started for who was going to change the job first. And by the second day, and then we realized that one particular brand had not done so many good things in Europe. And that brand was Volkswagen. And the guy who I flew into Boston with, by the time I flew back, this rock star had moved to Nissan. And from the movie Three Idiots, Bhavna, there is a specific character called Chatur Ramalingam. Guys, I did not say Vijay Emmanuel. I said Chatur Ramalingam. The important thing about Chatur Ramalingam was that he read the first 20 pages 5 or 6 times, but he read the exhibits really well. And just to ensure that the others didn't read the exhibits, he made all plans. Guys, can we go cycling today? It's only $5. I mean, okay, cool, I don't know you, but guys, can we eat together? I'm wondering, he's finished all of the preparation, when will we go through? So there was our own Chatur. But like I said, Indians are really competitive. So while most of us gave up saying we neither have the intellect nor Chatur's ability, we gave up. One man decided on the day of the match at 4:30 in the morning, I thought, wow, he's really getting prepared to go watch the match, support India winning. Out came the cases and he was furiously revising. So I asked him, what are you doing? He's saying, I'm re-preparing the cases. So while I was really losing it, saying, this is crazy. On the last day, someone re-preparing cases. 4:30 in the morning. And in the process, I truly remember this word, inclusion. So some of the profs have been rock stars, but don't mind, there might be a little bit of humor around you. I think I've taken the humor on those profs who didn't attend. I was being safe today. So while I stumbled on economics, and this was one part where, over the whole set of days, a beautiful set of cases around each country, and we figured the economics of every country. The one part that I never understood for the life of me is the unit economics of this vehicle. And then we even had the biggest celebrity of South attend the class with us. He looked like a normal human being who could have given a run for Mahesh Babu. But as time went, he even grew a beard. He spends 1 hour trying to trim it. He does try his best to stand out. So on 9 degrees at Professor's house, there was only one guy who mistook the festive garb for that day. And really wore the best pair of air conditioning that you can get. Frederick. So after all the knowledge of economics, I just couldn't understand the economics of a bike that guzzles fuel, that does not move on any of our speed breakers, and despite him wearing the traditional South Indian attire, it didn't sell even 1 piece more. So I just couldn't get it, but the rest of the economics, I think I now have a good idea, and most of us have a good idea because of the way it was presented and taught to us. And then I thought, okay, we're getting into the groove of this, we now know how to ace the cases, what to read, and then some things happen in life that are purely true to the theory of consistency. We were sent another link, and the link said HBX. When you clicked on the link, at the first shot you felt really good because here was a smiling VG. He smiled at you, you felt really good. Somebody who's so learned is taking out the time to smile at you. After that, he said, let's go to the first module. And then, once the questions on the first module happened, this is what I was doing. I mean, where did that question come from? Why should I defer a revenue? Or why should some people defer costs like Enron? And then I realized that some things are not contingent liability, but knowledge of accounting for me is a permanent liability. Permanent. The second bit I realized, which our professors educated us really well, is it's not important that you give all the answers. I was really thrilled at it because now I meet my CFO and everybody and I just ask them questions because I don't know the answer. I mean, it's simple as that. So therefore, then I realized, while I'm not understanding anything on the accounting course, if VG is speaking so passionately about Cardulos, let me go and buy something from him. And Cardulos was really good. I realize I'm not the only one because Tushar sitting here has been planning every day for the last 7 days to go to Natick. And his idea of going to the Natick is that one day he'll be able to be this flexible. And then there's a very good friend of mine. Inside office, we are on opposite sides of the table and we fight really hard. He claims he does it to benefit the consumer. I claim I do it to benefit the consumer, but I don't seem to agree with his claim. So we are fighting all non-stop till we met here and we had a great time. And then the normally fun, jovial Nitin Dutt encountered a real avalanche coming to him. That avalanche was, do not disturb. Anyone got what do not disturb was? That is DND. And there are 2 things you don't do to Professor DND. One, you don't disturb him when he's presenting because you're really getting pearls of wisdom. And the second was that moment which was purely like a Hindi movie where he walked straight next to Nitin and he said, where's the space you see in the toothbrush end cap? At the end of that question, now obviously Professor DND was doing a great job of trying to explain to us, but it really rattled Nitin. So much so that a chirpy guy went on mute and finally woke up with full energy and said, give me a W, give me an A. And he did that beautifully. And I also learned that the profs here are super good at marketing for themselves, or for their, sorry, not themselves, but for Harvard. So the next 2 slides are for me doing my own marketing, and it's in the flow. It's a standard template, so the bankers will know that the headline is all following the same. So here it is. I felt at home discussing Dove. There is no joke here. It's a plug-in for using my company's brands. The joke is on the next one. I also enjoyed finding the brand ambassador for. Now here there were many people. There were the young and energetic Hitesh. Then there was some people who achieved perfection, which is Sagar. But there was only one guy who could truly endorse Indulekha. And the reason is, in the classroom, when you see the lights fall on his head, they form a perfect tridaya. It is rare. It has never happened. But that's what Arjun managed to do. So from all of this, I realized I'm getting a great time here. The group is coming together. As a collective, we said we will move forward to learn. And here I have two really profound things to say. The first is, when we were trying to move forward to learn, we were taught from day one that you put your hand up and then you speak. But this dude was too good. First of all, he told, I thought Lululemon must be like passion fruit, some different kind of lemons, till I realized that Mr. Vijay Emmanuel is endorsing it. This must be something, man. And then it came to moleskin. And then I'm going to use it. Certainly tomorrow some of us should try it. Don't try putting too much fight on, put your hand up. You just have to sit with calm composure, say, let's take a step back. And then, if any of us try to do it, we're going to get wrapped because we don't have that kind of presence to pass it off. But Vijay also does one more thing to make sure it's a very serious comment. I'm not commenting on the quality of the comment, I'm just saying how he does it. So out will come his specs. The specs will be at an angle so that you can see the brand name. And then you turn and say, but Prof, I don't agree with you. Then we realized as a group of 80 people, we became really good at debating. And since we spent so much time with each other, we were debating because it was the cool thing to debate. The topic went out of the window. And many times we had people who were using a lot of profound quotes before they would explain what they wanted to say. So I thought, how can I be left behind? Even I have studied. So I said, as a group, let's do one thing. We'll pick up Shakespeare. And one of the famous quotes of Shakespeare was, what's in a name? This group took it so seriously and used a lot of creativity and asked young and able Shanti, what's in a painting? And the reams of conversation around the painting, if he had spent that much time on the case, I'm sure he would have got the right answer to all of the cases. And as we continued to debate, one of the rather simple looking questions but very complex to answer, we were asked, is water a public good? And I was like, look, this is sounding real. It is a public good. There were passionate speech. Senthil had tears in his eyes. They were glistening. And he stood up and said, I don't get what is going on. Yeah, water is a public good. And at that very moment, it was an epiphany moment because next to me was Shashank, who was browsing through his phone saying, what is he saying? Yeah, what is he saying? And there was Shashank taking a dive into the swimming pool. I mean, that can't be public good. Figuratively and literally. And we had some of our people who were so good that a simple question like, is water a public or a private good, became involving the fiduciary to save the civilization. I was like, I've heard of creative leaps, but this is like incredible creatively, but it sounded really genuine. If I had tried it, Guruji would have thrown me out of the course. I would have been sleeping outside saying, what is this? But because of the quote that comes before, whether it's Swami Vivekananda, sometimes it's Malcolm Gladwell, you wonder saying, this is profound. The question is going to shake civilization. And I'm really hoping that we don't see acts of impeachment, but we do plan to challenge you, Sumit, on some of the profoundness that has come through to our course. But wait, here's not, I'm not done with the gentleman yet. The best part was, even, the profs are smarter than us because they figured who are the two to put together so that we can really struggle through our way through. And therefore that was the role play. Now, very interesting role play because on the one side of the role play, the case was simple, it was Morgan Stanley. But if you now step back, Vijay, please step back with me. And then you imagine how this conversation was going. One person is saying premise, Swami Vivekananda. Predicated, Malcolm Gladwell. Indulge me. Kyun karu? It was such a brilliant role play that Kizo and Ram had a blast. And they were lucky because they didn't even attempt trying to go to the dictionary. They were just looking at two gentlemen, one going all the way down to Aristotle and the other really tearing Baron to bits. But we really enjoyed this role play. I'm saying, the substance is really good. And when all of this was happening, there were 3 or 4 people who decided this just can't happen to us. We can't have philosophy, English, go and do something about it. So they decided that they would go together, click a picture, and solve this debate by saying we've done it. Most of Manila gets water. We know exactly how it's to be done. So can you Indians stop debating and start doing it? And by this time, everyone in the group was together. People were cracking jokes at each other, everything. One man was passionate. He's so passionate that he's on a literal passion yatra. You can make out he's in it because before you blink, the dude is saying, one photograph, please. And the best part is, India needs 48 runs in 42 balls. Dhoni is not hitting. One photograph, please. Come on. And he's so good at it that even now he's put the devices saying, don't touch it. We'll get a good recording of it. So that's to Sunil. And while this dude was on a passion yatra, we had another dude who was totally straight-jacketed. Yeah, he didn't bother debating too much with people. He was a great host. Sometimes he extended his host function so well that the next whole day he had to recover. But we love him for a rather outstanding pair of jackets and a great sense of humor. That's Ashok Reddy. And the next man lost oodles of weight. It's not me, it's someone in the audience. I really respect him for it. But the only problem I have is don't lose brevity. It just cannot happen. You lose the weight but don't lose brevity. And don't mistake narrative and narration. It can be a little difficult for the others. And then some people said something in class and literally followed it to the T. So this young lady fell in love culturally. And she literally fell in love culturally. And now I'm going to come back to Guruji and walking, and we were barely huffing and puffing, and we got to some terms with Guruji that he said, "Ab chalo main tumhe aur dikhata hu. Let me show you some stuff more." And then he introduced us to nothing short of Forrest Gump. So here's a gentleman who wakes up at 4:30, runs for an hour. Then he comes and he joins us saying, "You guys are really too weak. Let me start walking with you." And then he picked few of our people who are, they're healthy, they're wealthy, they love their food. And he picked them, and the 2 of them ran for one day for 80 meters. If you go back and check the stadium, it's bent even now. So this is a deep impact by Ravi sir. If you do whatever you want, don't run with it. Because Forrest Gump will get you. And while we were doing all of this, we had Mr. Caterpillar who struggled with True North. I am not referring to the book and True North, I am referring to a map. So we had to go to the Boston airport. It was a 10-minute journey. We took 1.5 hours because for some reason in his mind he was searching for True North when all we needed was listen to the map. So that's cheers to the Caterpillar. And then we had some people you would think would never adapt philosophy or never adapt corporate statements into real life, but we did. We had Bob the Builder adapt Henry Ford. And the logic of Henry Ford is you can choose any color as long as it is black. If you come to group 6A, you can get any food as long as it is rice and yellow dal. And rice and yellow dal. That's how Bob the Builder. We also had, remember we had two people from Cisco. Since one guy was killing it on English, the other friend left out. Seriously left out, and he was in our wing. So the chances of being left out were even higher, like given how inclusive our wing was. He makes a crackling presence in the class. So before Sandy comes in, first comes protein bar. Now mind you, the protein bar, a lot of people got into the class, but they kept it inside their pocket. This guy ensured everyone knew he's on protein bar. Then came Lay's, because he insisted he'll make a crackling presence in the class. Then came bananas. And after all of this, there was Sandy. If you see the photograph, there's a huge amount of anguish on Sandy's face. Please note, he's in a senior leadership forum. There's massive anguish on his face because he couldn't find the protein bar or the chips or the banana. We also had some people who said we will take negotiation very, very seriously and we'll implement it in real life. And therefore we had someone who took BATNA to its logical conclusion. It was none other than Vishal. Basically his eyes lit up. Every time he saw 50% discount, he was like, "Theek hai, 60% discount, give me 6 of them." So therefore I think he's brought for his society, the neighboring society, all of them will be flooded with stuff from Boston. And of course we had people who were obsessed with Calvin Klein. I can't let out the intricate details of being obsessed with Calvin Klein because the group shared it with me in confidence. But this guy sat in the first row in the class just thinking, when can I go back to Calvin Klein's store? Yeah? So he started with obsession. He brought a lot of stuff. I'm going to eliminate this part a bit fast because some of it might be a bit embarrassing for him. And he bought for himself, and in all probability, given his equation, you might have a chief minister of Maharashtra sporting Calvin Klein. I don't know how it will work with his voters, but certainly that's what's going to happen. Yeah. After seeing the group, etc., we also built functional skills well at HBS. Certainly from my perspective, there were 2 skills that are now ace. The first is washing and drying. This is easier because the machine does the work. The second is difficult. And if you notice the logo on it, it says Flipkart and not Amazon. So there's attention to detail. So these are the things that I built my skill, and I thought, okay, is it just me or it's everybody? Then I realized there's some really senior, celebrated, decorated professionals working with us who are also building their skill. And here's one of them. Collecting fruits and ensuring the whole group came for the case study. I mean, inside Delhi, we'd have to take 10 appointments to meet him, but here he was carrying fruits with a lot of passion. Yeah. We also, in the process as a group, realized that there is a solution to having a stable party that can challenge the ruling party. Yeah. We found Raga as replacement. Raga, for those of you who are not from India, is one of those guys you don't want to meet. Yeah? So it's okay. He belongs to a politically affiliated family, but maybe he knows a little bit less on politics. But he just doesn't get campaigning. And that we figured who our guy is, who's going to give Narendra Modi a run for his money, and there he is. And at the end of it all, while Batman found Gotham, all 80 of us certainly discovered Rentham. And the photo of one guy I have put as a representative for everybody, saying if you are not aware of some of the costs associated with premium brands, stay away from Gope. He is extremely influential and can make sure you burn $1,000, which you don't realize then. You realize later, as I was told, when the credit card bill keeps coming one after the other. I wonder where the technology mismatch was, but Prasad Jawhaji's recreated Rentham. They can't grow next year because of it. So on that note, really want to say, truth be told, thank you everybody.